Hi everyone. The question of who am I is one we all grapple with, and is especially interesting here in America, a nation built by people from everywhere else. For this project, I wanted to dig into my own identity. It's a story that starts not where I am, but where my family came from. The rolling hills of England and the rugged valleys of Wales. My name is Justin Hurst, and this is a reflection of my personal identity as an American with deep roots across the pond. If I had to distill the core aspects of my identity, they'd revolve around a few key themes. First and foremost is my heritage. Knowing that my ancestors walked the streets of the Welsh mining towns and English coastal villages gives me a powerful sense of continuity. It's a connection to a history that feels both grand and personal. From that heritage, I've inherited what I can only describe as a quiet resilience. It's not loud, but a keep calm and carry on attitude that feels very British. It's the idea that you can face challenges with grit and a dry sense of humor, another trait that I definitely attribute to my background. Finally, there's a deep-seated appreciation for a story and place. I've always been drawn to history, literature, and the idea of home as a sanctuary. I think this comes directly from a culture that values centuries of old pubs, local legends, and comfort of a hearth. These aren't just abstract concepts. They're a bedrock of how I move through the world. So how does this centuries-old background shape my modern American identity? It means my American story isn't one from starting from zero. It's a story of building a new life on a very old foundation. My family brought with them an industrious spirit from Wales, a respect for hard work and craftsmanship. From England came certain cultural touchstones, a particular sense of humor, a love for a proper cup of tea, and an unspoken formality that has softened over generations in America but hasn't completely vanished. This creates a unique dual perspective. I feel profoundly American. I grew up with the 4th of July, barbecues, and high school football games, but I also feel quiet, persistent connection to a different landscape and history. It shapes my American identity by making it layered. I'm not just an American, I'm an American who carries a quiet legacy of the British Isles within me, which gives me a different vantage point on everything from politics to social interactions. Living in America has profoundly influenced this identity, presenting a unique paradox of opportunity and challenge. The biggest opportunity has been what I call the privilege of blending in. Because my ancestry aligns with the dominant historical narrative here, my heritage is often invisible. I don't have to explain my last name or face assumptions based on my appearance. This has granted me a certain ease in moving through American society. But that very invisibility is also the greatest challenge. When your heritage isn't visible, it can become fragile. There's no community pressure to maintain it. It can be easily washed away in a great American melting pot. I've had to be intentional and actively ask my grandparents for stories, to research my family history, and to make a point of understanding what being Welsh means beyond dragons and daffodils. The challenge isn't one of overcoming prejudice. Back in the UK, my English Welsh heritage would just be the default, normal background, but here it becomes a specific thing, a distinct piece of my identity. I had to consciously understand and explain. It went from being invisible to being a defining feature. America also pushed a more individualistic mindset onto my more reserved, collective cultural foundation. I've had to learn to be more self-promoting and ambitious, blending to the quiet resilience I inherited with a louder American drive to forge my own path. Basically, America made my heritage something I actively choose to defend rather than just passively inherit. This journey has led me to a very personal definition of what it means to be American. For me, the classic metaphor of the melting pot has never felt right. In a pot, everything blends into one homogeneous substance. My experience is different. I see America a little differently, as each piece retains its unique color, shape, and texture. A piece might be Italian, another Nigerian, another Korean, and mine is English and Welsh. Alone they are just fragments, but together, placed side by side, they create a beautiful, strong, and unified picture. So, being American to me is the freedom to be my specific heritage. It's the right to feel a connection to the poetry of Dylan Thomas and the history of London, while also cheering for Team USA in the Olympics. It's about adding my family's particular thread to the vast and complex tapestry of this nation without having to cut the thread that ties me to the past. So, in the end, my identity isn't a static label. It's a living, breathing blend of constant dialogue between the old world and the new. America provides the space for my future, while my English and Welsh heritage provides the depth of my roots. Understanding this blend is how I understand myself. Thanks for joining me in this little journey of reflection.